Quick question. How many of you are Legacy Project virgins? Meaning you haven't been to one of their events before? A few. How many people here grew up outside of an urban area, in a smaller town, in rural settings? Can you imagine if we had this? I mean, I grew up in a small town. Can you imagine if we had a history project, if we had a legacy project back when we were growing up? How different would our lives have been? And I think that's why we're all here today, because we want to smooth that path for others coming behind us. I see it as our ability. I mean, we're the bridge, folks. We're the ones who have, some have financial resources, some have our own growing up with the pressures of being gay. We're the bridge to the next generation and the generation after that. If a group is going to do it, it's going to need to be us. Because as things become easier, things are going to become more forgotten. So the time is now, and we have the opportunity for a second coming out, to bring out all of those who have gone before us, who haven't had that opportunity, whose history, our history, has been buried, it's been lied about, it has been forgotten and shunned aside, and we have the opportunity now to provide for the next generations what we were denied. Victor, what's our take been today?
Just around 11,000.
Around 11,000. And what's that going to mean for the Legacy Project? What are you going to be able to do with that money right now?
Well, we're actually going to be hiring a grant writer for the first time because we need to up our game and bring in resources that are not directly related to plaque sponsorship. We've been very limited budgetarily from doing that, so an event like this gets us to outside of where we've been confined thus far. Plus, we want to expand our marketing, and we need to be able to bring word of this project to people who are not in Chicago but elsewhere, so we'll go to help funding the traveling exhibit.
And if you had another 11,000, what would you do?
Wow, you're going to just turn my head there, gentlemen.
Yeah. Dream,
Everyone
Victor,
needs to hear
dream.
this. Please hold.
Dream, Victor, dream.
It's just like one of those dolls where you just sort of pull the thing out of them. Well, we have an appointment with the development director potentially this week, and it makes it possible to bring in consultants to this project, which, you know, like somebody mentioned earlier, Ralph did, you know, we've raised $500,000 primarily from $50 and $25 donations in 3 years. Do you have any idea how effing unbelievable that is for an organization? And that's with like nobody knowing about us. So, you know, we really need to have access to a larger audience than we've got for what I think is arguably the coolest history project that there is. So.
Ever. Thanks to all of your donations today and being here today. Drew Gemolo and I are going to match every dollar that you have given today. But wait, there's more. We know that you've dug into your pockets already, but for every additional dollar that you are willing to give the Legacy Project, particularly after listening to these two scholars who have been here today and hearing that Victor, what he's going to do with that money right now, not tomorrow, right now, we're going to match every other dollar that you are willing to put up today to further the Legacy Project's reach. So, folks, if you're willing and able, Get out your checkbooks, get out your credit card. Victor can process a credit card because every additional dollar you give, it's going to mean $2 additional for the Legacy Project. So, Victor, I know you have some additional comments to make. So proud to be part of your vision because you are incredible.
Turn my head, sir. I've known Tom Kiola for 40 years.
Stop.
Tom was an RA when I was a freshman at the University of Illinois. So, yeah, that was a while ago. I showed you this card before. You know, the really cool thing about this card is that when you scan the code on the back or tap it against your phone if you have NFC, it takes you to that web portal, and there's a big button on there that says donate. So it'll be the first time people will actually be able to donate to the Legacy Project in real time while they're standing in front of a plaque. So if you guys actually are of a mind to do it and you want to just do it on your smartphone, scan the code, push the button, and do your thing. And of course we will take checks and we have scanners and all that other good stuff here if you want to do that. Thank you, Tom, for your incredible generosity. Tom has given so many thousands of dollars to this project, it is hard for me to even calculate how much it is. And for him and Drew to step up to do this, to basically triple match what we've raised here today is astounding. For an organization like ours, which is tiny, it is amazing. And just to give you an understanding of what we're up against, we're trying to go to a conference in February in Portland that's being sponsored by the Human Rights Campaign. You ever heard of them? Yeah. $40 million a year. You know what they wanted for us to bring our traveling exhibit to their installation for 2 days? $3,000. It's like, that's not going to happen. We'll bring a picture of it instead. So the point is that all this stuff costs money, and there's organizations that are so much more evolved and bigger and more fantastic and all that, and they have no trouble commanding that, and a little organization like ours struggles, but because of people like you, we've done truly something astounding. And I have to say, everyone keeps saying, Victor's vision, Victor's so fabulous, and of course I am.
Yes, you are. But
the truth of the matter is, without all of you and hundreds of other people that aren't here, this would still just be an idea trapped in my head. So it's amazing that so many people have contributed to it. And before we wrap up, I want to just make a real quick acknowledgement. One is to, where do you go, Alexander? Where are you? Alexander Hilster is also a donor to the project. He actually put together our dedication ceremony in 2012 as an event planner. But I wanted to point out to him, because Alexander, did you ever hear the Santa run, where they strip down to their skivvies and they do that? Alexander won or came in second or did something or looked really good doing it. One of those things. Anyway, he won it, and it was a rooftop party at the center on Halstead, and he gave that to us, and we've converted that into a party for LGBT youth for the night of our dedication ceremony. And I just want him to get a round of applause. And two other people, this is a quick story, but it's a really cool one, and I want you to remember it if you remember nothing else. These two individuals here in the second row, Lauren and Kyle Lajeunesse, their father, Leon Lajeunesse, I've known for 25 years. Believe it or not, I used to work in construction. And yes.
He brought the refreshments.
He brought the refreshments. I told Ralph, I said, I was the butchest one of our group. And he said, well, look at your competition. Anyway, so Leon and I have kept in touch since we no longer were working together, and I started at Legacy. And he contacted me and was really anxious to get together and have lunch, and he was really pushing this, and I didn't entirely understand why, and I wasn't in the industry anymore. We sat down and he started telling me the story about his amazing family and their journey and the transitions that had happened in their own family, and he wanted to bring his family to the Legacy Walk so that they could experience it together. And they came out, and it was incredibly moving to me to know that someone from a different part of my life could actually connect to this project in that particular way. Leon couldn't be here tonight. They're in Florida? Grandparents? Is that? Road tripping. Anyway, he gave us an incredible amount of money and sent two representatives of the family. And this is what this project is about. It brings people together from all different walks of life through a commonality that finally has a way to express itself, because there's a place to bring them. So I wanted to acknowledge Kyle and Lauren and thank them for coming. And Again, if you want to make an extra contribution, scan the code, tap your phone, because NFC is all the rage, and hopefully someday Legacy will be too. Thank you guys so much for coming.